Welcome back to Mind and Money. My name is Val Stratford and I am a financial planner.
And I'm Sherry, a financial coach. And today we're going to share some tips on the things that we do that help us and our busy ADHD brains when it comes to travel.
And the business owner in us as well, because it's a different packing/exit to leave your home if you're a business owner versus an employee.
It's true. And I don't usually set my out of office, like autoresponder on my email, but I did this time. But basically it's, instead of it saying like, I'm out of office, I'll go back to you. It's, I'm out of office, but I'm self-employed. So you'll just hear from me a little later than you normally would.
Yes. And this is super prevalent, I think is the word that I want, because Sherry is in the midst of packing for a road trip. So not no flying involved, but a car trip. And I thought, what a perfect thing to share the different ways that we pack and the different strategies we use to pack for trips, prepare for trips, and kind of breaking it into a flight and a car trip. Okay. So I know one thing I have to think about when I'm leaving for any extended amount of time over 12 hours is who's going to take care of the other things that live in my house. Yes. Communicating with those people, confirming them, and then at departure, making sure I take everything that that person needs to take care of those dogs, or making sure that everyone has enough food for the amount of time that I'm gone. So that's one piece that I have to think about, whether it's flying or car. It's like this whole other branch to the tree of travel.
And do you usually have, is usually friends and family that are watching, or okay?
Typically, yes. We're really blessed in that sense.
Yep.
There is a dog kennel across the road. They're fantastic, but usually it's between my sisters, my parents, or I have a one girlfriend that has a fenced backyard and she's awesome. So,
yes. That's great.
Yes.
And I watered my plant. So we don't have pets currently. And I have one baby plant that Val brought me like 2 months ago. It's still alive, but she's concerned now that I've overwatered it because I was overwatering. I gave it a lot of water this morning in preparation to leave for 2 weeks. So also, if you're thinking about coming to rob my home, this episode is going to be published after I'm already home. Just a quick disclaimer, don't bother coming to my house. I'll be back. So we're actually going to our cottage for one night because it gets us closer to our destination, which is Thunder Bay. And then we're going to Thunder Bay. We're going to be there for a week. And then my husband's on vacation. So then we're going to come back and be at the cottage for another week. So I've got an intricate system of lists and bins, and I packed my suitcase, so the clothes that I need for Thunder Bay. So I only really need clothes for Thunder Bay because we have clothes at the cottage. And my husband's comment was, are you leaving anything here? And I'm like, but we're driving and we're not taking anything big with us. So why wouldn't I pack more clothes than I think I'm going to need?
Yeah.
We're not going to an airport where
it's not being weighed.
Yeah. The last time we did this trip, the security or the border crossing agent, because we go through the states to go to Thunder Bay, the border crossing agent actually said, like, you're just going for a week and there's just two of you, because we had so much stuff. I'm like, we're in the car. What difference does it make?
Yeah.
And part of that is my husband's golf club. So like, it looks like, like, and when we're just popping through the states. So it's like, we're just,
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Stop judging my capacity of my car.
And I think one whole bin was snacks.
Absolutely.
You got to have car trip snacks. So it's about a 14-hour drive. We do it in one shot. We talk a lot about how we use our iPads for note taking. So I use an app called Good Notes for all my client note taking. It's super amazing. It lets me put folders for all the things. But I also use it for my lists for packing. If I'm at the cottage, for example, and I'm like, oh, we need this, I put it on my cottage packing list so that the next time I'm packing, it's already there. I know it. And then as I'm packing, I like to see clean things. So as I'm packing things, I'm erasing them.
Yes.
Instead of, I've heard other people that use Good Notes app, like they'll leave it there and they'll like check it off and then erase the check marks. So they want to have like an ongoing
template, but you can always copy that. And
I just erase everything and start from scratch, writing it all down again. And when my brain gets really busy and I worry that I'm going to forget things, it's when I go to my list and I add things.
Yes.
So I know that I'm not going to remember.
Yep.
And if I don't write it down, it might not get there.
Well, then the hamster stays on the wheel, but if you put it back in the cage and take a break from your brain, Mine is the same thing with things to do like around the house before hosting a party. I have to make that list, or else it's just this 12 hamsters running on the wheel. And I'm like, I'm going to forget one. One's going to fall off.
Yeah. A key thing of settling my brain down is writing down things that I need to do, or adding a reminder to my phone for something I need to do in the future, like whatever. Yeah. It's basically like, what system is going to help me best remember to do things based on the thing that it surrounds. So if it's something 2 months from now, it's a reminder in my phone. If it's something for the trip I need to take, it's going on my list. But I also, like, I'm going to Thunder Bay. I'm not going to Antarctica.
Right.
Like, I can buy something if I forget it. It's not going to be the end of the world, but I'm just like, I have to have everything. And I want to have everything and have it be convenient and not have to go buy it. But it's just something I've been telling myself. So
yes, you have to remind yourself of that.
Also, like, an intricate system of tote bins, because we've got, there's really like 3 different bins and journeys that the things need to take. So it's like, this is what I need for Thunder Bay, and I only need it for Thunder Bay. And it's going in this bin because it can stay in the car.
Yes.
When we spend the night at the cottage. And this is stuff that I only need at the cottage. So it's going in its own bin. It can come out. It can stay there while we're gone. And then there's a bin this is things that I'll need at the cottage, but also needs to go to Thunder Bay. I know I've got like lots of like anxiety around stuff and forgetting stuff. So I think like just writing it all down, getting it out of my brain, being calm, thinking about like what we're going to do there and having that flexibility. I think it's one thing that really caught us before. One of the first times we went to Thunder Bay is I think it was Labor Day weekend or the weekend before that. And it was summer here in southwestern Ontario. And we got there and it wasn't summer there. Yeah. Just like checking the weather. What is it going to be like there? It's like traditionally a lot cooler there.
And would you agree that you think about more things for your trips than your partner does?
Yes.
It's very interesting. I wonder, to the whole brain swapping piece, I'm like, I wonder what that would be like. You come home, the totes are packed, and then you have the audacity to ask if something got packed.
Yeah, and it's just so funny because I think part of it is that we're women. I think part of it is that we have ADHD, and I think part of it is that our days look different. Like now, like we're leaving to go to the cottage tonight, and my husband is at work.
Right.
And I am here. So I was packing my medication yesterday and just thinking about things, and I looked at his medication. I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of that left. So it's like and then I did notice last night he was also like, he was checking. I'm like, I already checked that. He's like, you did what? I'm like, yeah, it didn't look like there was enough for 2 weeks. And there was a time when we were at the cottage for an extended period of time, and he had to get the pharmacy to swap and then swap back. So it's just like, we think about all the things, and he will need to pack his clothes and toiletries.
Yes.
And that's really it. Normally when we're going to the cottage, I'm packing all of the food and stuff like that too, but we're not taking a lot of food. We're going to buy the food in Thunder Bay and then grocery shop when we get back to the cottage too. So like that's very minor this time, but yeah, I feel like we worry about all of the things and take care of all of the things for multiple reasons.
Correct. Yes. So lists, I love tote packing. I love taking enough time in advance to tote pack efficiently. I also find myself like the day before, I'm like, that's when I'm really...
Well, because there's so many things you can't pack.
Yes.
Until day of.
Yeah.
So day of, then there's like, and I do this when I come home from the cottage too. It's like day of, you wake up, like I take my meds in the morning, and then it's like, okay, I'm done using these for the day. They go in the bin to go home. Like, and this morning, so I'm taking my pillow to Thunder Bay. So I got up, I put the pillow at the end of the bed, so it's not where it was like supposed to be.
Yes.
So it's finding signals,
those reminders,
so that I remember things. So like as I was getting my bathroom stuff together, it was coming out of its home and living like on the counter. So it's like using those visual cues to force myself to remember the things, because like they're out of place, they're not where they're supposed to be, and kind of that I'm going to trip over this. So there's a blanket that I want to take, and it was in my office space, and just before we started recording, I threw it in the hallway.
Yes.
So it's like, how can I have visual cues for things I want and need to remember. So it's like, yeah, I might step over the blanket, but probably not. I'm going to pick it up and like take it down and put it in the appropriate bin.
Yes. I also do a bit of like a visualization exercise depending on the trip. And I'm like, okay, what could we possibly need? Right? Like, depending on where we're going, what we might come across. So then adding those things, almost always overpacking. But
yes, I'm a heavy overpacker too. I try when I'm flying, especially if it's only for a few days, I try and do carry on only, but like packing cubes, ramming them in, like the like different containers for the liquids so that I'm able to take like just what I need. And also a contact lens case is good for things you just need a little bit of.
Yep.
Because then you got two little nice little, they screw on, the lids stay on. Yeah, so when flying, I was talking about my massage therapist about this yesterday, and until I get through security and see the gate.
Really?
I'm a little anxious. And I do, like, in my mind, I play it back. I'm like, okay, the flight is at this time.
Yes.
I have to be there this time in advance. And I'm like, and then like, oh, I'm like, add a little time.
Always at a buffer.
Like as soon as I'm like through security, see my gate, go get a little snack, then I'm settled down. People that show up just before, like, they're much more efficient with their time, but it makes me too anxious. But flying, when my husband and I are going somewhere, like if we're going to an all-inclusive, we'll each have like a checked bag and a carry-on bag. I've only ever once lost a bag, but I pack every time like we're for sure going to lose a bag. So I'm like, okay, what are the things we need that are essential? So it's like a bathing suit or two and like a couple changes of clothes like in our carry-ons.
Yep.
And then like all of our clothes, I'll do like half in his luggage and half in mine and swap. And it's like one time I didn't get my bag when I got off the flight. And
had you done that strategy at that point?
I've always done it. I don't know why.
So you were perfectly prepared then to lose your bag?
Or perfectly anxious.
Yes.
But that one time that I did lose my bag, it was coming home and it was at the London airport and it was just me traveling. So I'm like, I like the carousel stopped. I'm like, oh, this isn't cool. But then the nice gentleman just delivered it to my house the next day. So perfect. I see that as a perfect retirement job for someone.
No doubt.
Just driving around with bags, being the hero.
That is a good tip though, is to do that swapping and have things there just as well for that. And when it comes to, because being at the airport, I get a little intrusive thought that I'm absolutely going to lose my passport and everyone else's, because typically I have everyone's. Like, I am going to lose them.
More responsibility, everybody's passport.
Yes. So I always try to put them back in the same place the entire trip and have them in a purse or a belt bag or something very close that's like very minimal. It's like my phone, the passports, whatever else we may need, my wallet, and that's it. Do you have something similar that you do?
Passports are currently in the back zip portion of my belt bag, and a little bit of American money for toll booths. And I actually said to my husband, like, I'm putting the passports in my purse. And it's like, why are you telling me? In case I forget or get worried about it, then you know where they are. Yes. Also in that purse, I found this, it came across on TikTok. This business was selling like this little mini pharmacy, and it looked really cute. Like it had like the Advil, the Pepto, all the things. And it was like, it's like they'd cut out the boxes or had labels printed for it. And I can't remember how much it cost. And I went to Amazon and I looked for it. And then I just looked for the container that it was in. And I got like 2 containers for less than half of the price of what the fancy pretty one was. So it's like, it's just nice. It fits in my belt bag purse, and it's just got all of the things that I might need day of. Like it's got Advils. I'll put like my supplements in it if I'm going to be out for the day that I need. And it's just handy to have it all right there, but not for the longest time. I just used to have like a little mini Advil bottle that just had like
everything in it.
Like, wait, what kind of pill are you looking for? Let me dump it all out and find the one that you want. So it's just a little more handy than that. So being able to like have things at an arm reach just makes me feel more calm. But I've also used, I can't remember what the app is, but I've also used a packing app before. And it actually, like, you tell it where you're going and what days you're going for and what activities you will be doing or you anticipate doing. And then it suggests a list of things for you.
I bet ChatGPT would also be good at that.
Oh, probably. And yeah, this app, considers the weather, which is nice. So if you tell it that you're going to be like working out outside, it'll tell you to take shorts or pants depending on like what's appropriate. And if you're like going out for like a fancy night, you check that off and it's like, don't forget your evening gown. That was kind of what I did originally when I was traveling, but now I think the customized list that I've written out this feels better for my brain.
Yeah, having that list, having the totes, not necessarily when we're flying, obviously. Any other tips or tricks that you use that you can think of? The mini pharmacy, the organized bag close to your body.
It's traveling somewhere sunny. If you're trying to do carry-on only, stick sunscreen. I think I've got like 4 ones that I've been trying right now, and I found a couple of really good ones. And
Sunly?
I can't remember what it's called, but the newest one that I'm trying is in a full like cardboard package too, which is really nice. It's like blue and yellow, and it doesn't smell at all. And for me, it's important that it doesn't run because I'll use it on my face when I'm going out and working out outside. I always thought stick sunscreen was like super annoying because it takes a little bit longer, but like it rubs in just as nice. As my husband's a big spray sunscreen person, and value for dollars spray sunscreen is
100%.
Also, when I use it, I can see patches that I just like missed on spots that I can't reach. Thinking about ways that you can make it easier so you don't have to take all like the liquids out. And when you're at the airport and you're going through security, do you go through it wanting to be the best person ever going through security? Like you want to get a gold star?
I go through it with the mindset that I'm going to get selected. I usually get my laptop swiped and I usually get pulled aside to go through. I think it's because of my earrings. That's just my theory because I have a lot of piercings.
Interesting.
Yeah, more times than not, I've been selected. Never taken into a room in question.
Yeah.
But laptop gets swiped. My palms have gotten swiped before.
Interesting.
And I mean, I look pretty cute when I travel, but maybe I look cute and sketchy.
I've never been selected.
It's because you're putting out the vibes, and I'm putting out like, come and get me. Choose me.
Yeah, when I go through, I'm just like, okay, I have to do this as efficiently as possible. I don't want to hold anybody
That
else.
is probably actually the most anxious part is those bins, getting your shoes off. And then when Grant was smaller, it would be making sure he was all good. But now that he's bigger, he's totally fine. And getting your electronics separated and then getting them packed up at the end. That would be the most...
I have almost left my cell phone in one of those bins before. Yes. Nice random stranger like, excuse me.
Yes.
You've got your phone. Like,
thank you for being a good person.
That would have been horrible.
Yes.
But yeah, figuring out the most efficient way to get through there. And you get selected. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe you just put out those vibes. Maybe next time just go through like, going to get an A+ with security.
That's the time that they haul me into the room. They're like, you've got something weird going on with your vibe.
Yeah. And it's like because no matter where I'm going, and you asked me if I had my calendar blocked out for the time. And I do have my calendar blocked out when we're in Thunder Bay, but not the following week. Hubby's on vacation, but I'm still going to work. And even though I'm not working next week, I still take my laptop.
Yeah, we're not fully unplugging ever.
Because when there's downtime and there's something to do, or if I realize I didn't actually publish on a podcast episode that I think I have scheduled, like I need to have my laptop, and I'm probably not going to work a lot, but I want to be able to, if I feel it.
Yes.
If there's something that needs to be done, then
I agree.
Then I've got it. And if we're just relaxing, then what's the harm? So yeah, lists are big. Getting it out of my brain.
Sharing the list too. Sometimes in my household has been helpful.
Ooh, I do. So I do share. My husband and I have like notes app list. So more like related to grocery store and Costco and stuff like that. Nothing specific for packing, because for me, I'm just like, you take care of your individual stuff. I will take care of everything else. So if you get there without any underwear, like that's on you. I have nothing to do with that.
I also love leaving the house very clean, not like extra clean, but put together. So when I come home, So that's a piece that I don't think Travis necessarily cares about. But then I'm trying to do that on top of pack. And he's like, why are you stressed? I'm like, because I'm trying to do a lot of things right now to make this better for me when I come home, for our family.
Yep.
So sharing those things, and although it's things that he might not see necessary, it's important to me to have those done.
Yep. And I also, on my list, the things that I need to take, but also things that I need to do. So
Yes.
I want to turn the thermostat up a little bit. We need to make sure we empty the compost and empty the garbage. And as soon as I opened the fridge this morning, there's leftovers in there that aren't going to get eaten. So like that needs to get taken out, put in the garbage needs to go out. And then
two-part.
Like the dishwasher needs to run so that we're not coming home to like
mold.
Yeah, like stuff just sitting there. So there is a lot of mental load that we carry for whatever reason. I do think a lot of it is just being the female head of household, but
I agree.
But then like on the flip side too, like my husband's the driver. He takes care of 97% of the driving, even when we're on really long trips. So it's like there is definitely give and take. Oh yeah, I did all the laundry yesterday so that it would be good, because I do like to come home to a house that didn't look like a tornado went through it as we were leaving for the trip.
And it's more work, because unpacking is enough work on its own. That could be its own episode. Thanks for listening.
And if you have any travel, we hope that you have a wonderful time and that you don't forget your toothbrush. Thanks for listening to the Mind and Money podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bye.